James Jones. They're here. They're ready to go. Settle in. Hang with us for the next hour as we get you ready for the Week 7 slate. But first, we start with a developing story. Ian Rappaport joining us now. And Ian, you've got some news on Antonio Brown. What is the latest there?
The long-awaited wait for Antonio Brown to finally sign with the team is on the verge of coming to a close. Sources say that the big-name free agent, the biggest name free agent still available, is flying to Tampa tonight. My understanding is a deal between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Antonio Brown is very close to happening. The two sides are working toward a deal. It is progressing. They are comfortable with where the numbers are, and if there are no snags, if all goes well, Antonio Brown is expected to join Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, for the Bucs, who already have a hugely stacked offense, this is just another weapon to add in. You know, for Antonio Brown, this ends a situation where he has been suspended. He obviously has been waiting to join a team. He's been trying to make his case that he is a different man than he was when he originally got suspended, and now that is expected to be in Tampa Bay. Of course, Seattle had been discussing him for some time, really since the summer, but Tom Brady pushing helped make this happen for Antonio Brown. And MJ, just to go through the timeline a little bit for where things stand, AB is flying to Tampa tonight. He begins COVID-19 protocol and testing. That should start tomorrow, so he's not going to be able to officially enter the building, or wouldn't be able to enter the building till the middle of the week, but he's suspended, so that may not happen anyway. Either way, based on where things stand right now, he should be in a Bucs uniform ready to play by Week 9 when the suspension ends.
Ian Rappaport, thank you. And since you mentioned the timeline, I want to take everyone through the timeline of this whole saga. So here's Antonio Brown's timeline since September of 2019. So September 7th, I was there in Alameda outside of the Raiders facility when he was released by the Silver and Black. September 20th, 2019, he was released from the Patriots after they nabbed him from the Raiders squad. July 31st of 2020, of course, he was suspended for 8 games of this season, 2020, multiple violations there of the NFL personal conduct policy. All right, let's bring in David Carr and James Jones. This is, of course, still developing, but just your initial thoughts as the Bucs seem to be closing in on this deal. David, I'll start with you.
Well, MJ, it's a complicated situation. You hope that Antonio Brown is feeling physically healthy, mentally healthy, and that he's able to go out and just play football. Because honestly, when he signed with the Raiders, there wasn't a bigger fan or a person that was more excited to have him than my brother Derek. And the way he works, what he gives to you on the field, he's a tireless worker. He's the best receiver in football when he's healthy, and that's what you get. The problem is the stuff that kind of happened off the field, on the sidelines, the interaction with the front office, the head coach, the coaching staff, all that stuff weighs on a team. And this is the ultimate team game. And you can grab a great player and make your team better. You can also grab a player, and if you have issues, you end up releasing him. Bill Belichick has done it. John Gruden has done it. I don't know if they're going to be any different with Bruce Arians. Maybe he can do something different. Maybe the Tom Brady connection. Maybe Antonio has learned a lot being out of game for so long. I mean, he obviously loves the game. So you have to realize if you want to play this game, it is a privilege. It's not a right. And for him to get back into it, maybe he's in a better headspace.
You touched on all of it, DC, off the field. But listen, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting a Hall of Fame wide receiver. And if he could keep his mind right, and if he could come out here and play football the way we know that he can play football, they just got the best receiver, like you said, DC, in the National Football League. Antonio Brown on their team to go with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. This offense with Antonio Brown on the field, if his head is clean, and we know he's going to be in shape, is the best receiver in football. And this offense is going to be dynamic, man. Tampa Bay is going to be a problem if they can make sure they can keep Antonio Brown on this football field and happy. It is going to be a dangerous sight to see. And I'm over here shaking my head because, oh, my goodness, I don't know what's about to happen.
Buckle up for sure. And DC, you mentioned the Tom Brady connection there. He also has the Bruce Arians connection there. Bruce was, of course, the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh in Brown's first 2 seasons in the NFL. All right, guys, we'll check with you in just a bit.
Here we go. Throws over the middle, intercepted. Touchdown, Minka. Little Minka magic can do today.
Tannehill looking, throwing, complete. Brown in the end zone.
Oh, that is Chase Claypool into the end zone for a pitch Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown. And Ben kind of knew it. Connor gets the block on the flank, inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, James Conner.
40, 30, 20, 15, end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, 94 yards.
David Carr joining me now. Steelers Titans, that is our NFL Total Access game of the week. What are 3 things the Steelers need to do to remain unbeaten here?
Well, when you go against the Titans, it's very simple. It's very basic. It's downhill football with Derrick Henry, and you have to stop the run. So you can either do that with physical force or an extra player. If you do that with physical force and your front 7 is legit, you can do that. But if you got to bring another guy down there to tackle him, now you're in one-on-one situations. If you put yourself in one-on-one situations, Derrick Henry, yes, he can run the football, but they got a guy with A.J. Brown who is healthy now that he can go out there, and he's been starting to really come on. And he was a big part of their offense last year, big plays down the field, and if he's in one-on-one situations, he's going to win the majority of those. So you got to really have a plan for him and focus on what he's going to do. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, you have a piece also. You got Chase Claypool, and now he's a guy that you can move inside, you can move outside, you can hand him the football, you can utilize him as a matchup guy. You can kind of put him outside, use him as a wide receiver, he can block, he's physical at the point of attack. It's really something that you can take advantage of if you're Ben Roethlisberger in this offense and really understand what coverage they're going to play early. I mean, you give a guy, a veteran quarterback like Ben, this type of player, and then also give him the answers to the test before the snap based on how they play Chase. Now you're in a pretty good position if you're Pittsburgh. It's going to be a great football game.
All right, David, I tossed and turned in picking this game. I'm going to hold that for a little later in the show. But who do you have winning this one?
When I look at it, I think that obviously the Tennessee Titans are a legit football team, but I have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I have to go, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be really close, down to the wire, but I think they just make too many plays, and Chase Claypool coming on is going to help Juju, it's going to help Ben, and that defense is just too good.
All right, fair enough. I like it. All right, David, thank you. But let's give you something else to chew on here. Former Titans running back and member of the 2,000-yard club, Chris Johnson, he recently tweeted out that the Titans have the best running backs in NFL history. So our research and social departments put something pretty cool together here. We need your input, though. So go to @NFL Research on Twitter to vote on which franchise has the best running backs in NFL history. Your choices: Titans, Bears, or Cowboys. We'll reveal the winner later on in the show.
Russ takes the shotgun snap, looks, fires a shot inside, reaching out, making a catch, touchdown, Seahawks! Snap to Murray, drops back to throw, looking deep, airing it out, middle of the field, he's got Kirk, it's caught at the 40, Kirk at the 30, an 80-yard strike. Russell, look out, he's going to fire inside, reaching up, making a catch, does he hang on? He does! Perfect pass by Russ. Hand off, no, he keeps it, running left, and Kyler Murray is in for the touchdown. Back in Texas, and some Monday Night Magic for Murray.
So Seahawks at Cardinals now move to primetime for Sunday Night Football this week. Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. Man, I love this matchup. But pay attention. I'm talking to you, young up-and-coming Kyler, because Russ has the second most wins by a quarterback in his first 9 seasons in NFL history. He's behind only Peyton Manning. All right, Emrab and James Jones with me. Now this game is now under the lights, gentlemen. Russell Wilson versus Kyler Murray. Emrab, will the young gun be able to keep up with your former QB?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, you look at the way that this kid is running the football. I'm looking squarely at the way that he runs the football. I don't know if there is a player, forget quarterback, but a player in the National Football League that accelerates faster than Kyler Murray. Now, both of these quarterbacks, Russell Wilson included, are movement types of quarterbacks. I love these guys. Russell moves to throw the football and just get down. Kyler moves to try to go 80. You see what I'm saying? To try to go 80 yards and get a touchdown. He outruns angles. He's going to have to use his legs to get some of those sneaky yards, to get some of those first downs when the coverage dictates it. But I'm telling you, this kid can fly. I look forward to a high-scoring game.
All right, 2 top receivers in this one, DK Metcalf and D-Hop. James, which one will have the better game Sunday night?
Well, y'all put me on the spot right here, man, because these is 2 special wide receivers. But I got to go with D-Hop. And the reason why I'm going with D-Hop, we know that D-Hop is going to get his targets. Fresh off the bus, they are looking for Hopkins. They are trying to find ways to get the ball into his hands. And I feel like he has the better matchup with secondary-wise. I don't know if the Seattle Seahawks have a guy in the back end that can really match up with Hopkins on the outside. So he is probably going to have his way. I like the Arizona Cardinals secondary, Patrick Peterson, Fitzpatrick, You got Buda Baker down there. So they're going to make it hard on Metcalf to be able to make some plays. I like Hopkins in this matchup. I think he's going to have a big game.
All right. Well, guys, I want you to hold on to those picks because we're going to use those in Upset Alert a little later in the show. And speaking of upsets, let's take a look at our standings through Week 7 here on NFL Total Access. Now, while the guys argue over upset alerts and all, look who's crushing the game in the NFL Total Access pick board. Yep, I am in the lead, fellas, 60-25. M-Rob behind me, 53-32. All right, David Carr, I see you, 52-33. On your heels, M-Rob, James Jones. We got to catch up, my friend. All right, let's see if you guys can pull away or catch up to me, if you will. Time for more game picks. And James and David, first game, Browns at Bengals. James, who you got?
Listen, I love everything JoJo Burrow is doing over there, man, and Joe Mixon, but I'm going with the Brownies, man. The Brownies running the football, play action pass. I like the Browns in this game. 34-21, they bring it home.
Yeah, I agree. I think that run game can get going, and Baker doesn't have to be in obvious passing situations. This offense is going to roll. I also love what Joe Burrow is doing. I just don't think they have enough. 27-24.
All right, I have the Browns 37-21, so it sounds a little familiar there. I just think the way that they've been flowing, it's going to keep going. Next one, Lions at Falcons, James Jones.
Listen, I don't know if you guys watched the game last week, but these Dirty Birds, these Falcons playing the Vikings had it going. And I'm saying that continues. Fresh new juice in there with the interim head coach. I'm saying they find a way to get it done. They beat the Lions 34-24.
I'm going to say what happened last week was a little bit of, interim head coach, maybe some things that you weren't really prepared for. I'm going to say the Lions win this football game because Matt Stafford, you know him. You know he's got the ability to throw it sidearm, underarm, wherever he needs to do, make a play. He's going to do it this week and find a way to win.
All right, I'm picking the Lions 29-28. Don't forget that the Lions are in a super competitive division. Their losses came against the Bears, the Packers, and the Saints. They've been in it. Don't sleep on them. I've got the Lions. All right, but their opponents will have a short week. You can watch the Falcons next Thursday when Matt Ryan leads Atlanta into Carolina.
you.